Mango Day for Flash. And Mango Day is Flash's favorite day. He absolutely loves him some mangoes. Say what?
That's pretty good stuff on it too.
Yeah, he's all about it. And so Flash is a two-fingered or two-toed sloth. Alive in the world today, there are two-fingered sloths and three-fingered sloths. Differences between them are more than just the number of toes on the front feet. All sloths have two toes. All sloths have three toes on the back feet. Two-toed have two on the front. Three-toed have three on the front. And then beyond just the number of toes, there are pretty significant differences between them. Talk about as soon as I get done chopping him up a little mango here.
You're alive.
He's smelling this mango right here, and he's all about it.
You're like, forget you. Don't have anything.
You're about to, though. You're going to be his best friend. He doesn't get mango often, and when he does, oh my goodness.
You can smell it.
Yeah. Yeah, when you start slicing it, it's pretty aromatic. And a sloth's sense of vision is horrible, so their sense of smell is absolutely on point. And smell and hearing are his best senses. Now, I say that his vision is horrible. It's not so much that it's horrible as that it's purpose-driven. They have a structure to their eyes called rod monochromacy, which means that they have all rod cells, no cone cells. So the sloth's eyes are designed to detect motion. So if you've ever seen a movie where they're showing you the point of view of on military guys with the night vision goggles on, and you just see a bunch of moving blobs out in front of them, that is the way a sloth sees. So he sees motion very well, but he sees objects very poorly. So this guy can't see the difference between me and either one of you, but he knows what I sound like and he knows what I smell like, so he could pick me out of a crowd, even though he doesn't know what I look like. Alright, so you guys are going to give him his breakfast here, and he has to smell it, not see it. And once he smells it, you can just lead him right down like this, and he's going to be all about the fruit. And remember, his vision is horrible. He can't see the difference between this and this. So this one you stick in his mouth, and this one you don't. Don't stick it in his mouth, don't stick it in my mouth. Either one of us might bite you if you stick your finger inside of our mouth. And so Flash is a sloth. Sloths are slow, famously, everyone knows that. But sloths are slow in ways that you may not have realized it's even possible for an animal to be slow. And he's going to chew that slowly, just like everything else. So they're slow not only in their movement, they're slow in their digestion, metabolism, metabolic processes. They're slow in every single way that an animal can be slow. So slow in their movement, of course on the ground, they just drag themselves. They're not ever going to pick themselves up and walk on legs like a dog or a cat or most other mammals would. They would just drag themselves along the ground. That's about 6 or 8 feet per minute. In the trees, they say that they can only move 20 feet per minute, but this guy goes from the top of his 25-foot enclosure down to here in 30 seconds. So I'd say that when they're meaning to get somewhere, they can move more like 50 feet per minute. But they're also slow in so many other ways. So the beginning of a sloth, he gets slobber all over his face on Mango Day, and he can, depending on how ripe it is, he can have it plastered all over his whole face, and then spend the whole day licking little, like a little more, so you go to sleep.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
He's just loving him some mango. See if you hold it up there again, he'll be low. Here comes another bite. He has to smell it, not see it. And then when he hangs down here to eat it, you are welcome to stand approximately this close to the sloth to take a picture. Welcome to pet him. On the back, not the front. I'm going to take a picture of the two of you together. Wait till he's ready for another bite. So the sloth, the slowness of a sloth starts from their diet. So in the wild, a sloth is eating almost exclusively leaves. Leaves are very low in caloric content, very low in nutritional value. So that is the essence of why a sloth is slow, is extreme energy conservation. So they're slow not just in their movement, digestion, metabolism, all of it. They eat a tremendous amount of food in the wild, but they're eating almost exclusively leaves. They're eating about 10% of their body weight every single day. So for me, I weigh 200 pounds. That would be me rolling into Outback and saying, bring me 20 of the 16-ounce porterhouse steaks, because that's what I'll be eating today. Or if I had to go to the Golden Arches, I'd be saying, bring me 80 of the quarter pounders today. Wow. Probably without the buns. But so even though he's eating 10% of his body mass every single day, he goes to the bathroom only once in 7 to 10 days. And when he does, he is going to eliminate 1/3 of his total body mass. This guy's empty weight is about 17 pounds. So before he goes to the bathroom, he'll get up into the mid-20s and then right back to 17 all at once. So again, for me, if I was going to eliminate 1/3 of my body mass in 2 to 3 minutes, we're talking about a bag of dog food in a 5-gallon bucket in 2 or 3 minutes. And so the other ways that a sloth is slow, some of the key ways, they only provide milk to their babies for about 2 to 4 weeks. And most mammals produce, store, deliver milk for their babies. Sloths have no storage. They produce and deliver drop by drop as the baby eats it. And according to San Diego Zoo's knowledge base, it is gender dependent that a male baby sloth will drink milk from its mother for 2 weeks, and actually they say 16 days. And a female baby sloth will eat milk from its mother for almost a month. No, he's still good.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
still good. Okay.
You just got to hold it still for a second because he smells it, not sees it.
Uh-oh.
You guys could stand both sides of him if you like. It's on video, but I'm hitting the capture button here.
Thanks, sir.
So the sloth, they make milk for their babies for only 2 to 5 weeks. The sloth only grows one set of hair. He doesn't shed even to the rate that a human sheds. You know, when we brush our hair, we lose 10 or 20 hairs every day, and with a little luck, we grow them back. The sloth grows his hair and keeps his hair. The baby sloth will have a solid brown coat. It can range anywhere from cafe au lait to espresso. And then at about 10 months, their adult light-colored hairs start to poke through their coat. And then by about 2 years, they're pretty solid colored. But the one in the next room right there is 2 years and a week, and her hair is only half as long as his. It takes them about 4 years to be mature. The sloth, slow in their movement, digestion, metabolism. So eating 10% of their body mass every day and going to the bathroom only once in 10 days means they're metabolizing the food very, very slowly. And they must have like a full, there's chambered, it's all one stomach, but obviously one section since it's empty or full, because you can actually see a sloth while it goes through its food cycle to start out skinny and then whoa, 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 and then when they get the size of a little fat Buddha, they poof, and then right back to nothing again. The sloth, when he is in the top of the tree, he's safe. Some of the main things that would be looking for a sloth in the wild, snakes, you know, in the rainforest, snakes are a thing. A snake cannot find a sloth. A sloth has no scent gland, sweat gland, musk gland, none of that, so there is no natural scent to a sloth. And snakes are seeking their food by scent, by smell, and by temperature difference. So the snake can't find the sloth because he not only has no scent, he also has no temperature. A sloth's core body temperature is whatever the outside air temperature is. They are technically a warm-blooded animal, but they do not maintain their body temperature. Their body temperature will follow the air temperature. Daytime high in the rainforest is mid-80s, nighttime low is high 60s. So his core body temperature can change by 19 degrees Fahrenheit every day. Now, obviously, in human perspective, that would be me dropping from 98.6 to 79.6, and the coroner is the only person going to be interested in that information. That's obviously not going to work for us. But with no temperature different than the air and no scent different than the rest of the rainforest, a snake can't find one. A cat can't get to a sloth. The sloth is hanging on the bottom of the branch, and when he sees motion, day and night, he sees motion very well. He's end of the branch, get to the end, and the branch hangs down under him. The cat is going to be trying to come along the top of the branch. When he gets to the end, you know, what's he going to do, right? So the cat can't get to the sloth. You can scoot these out of the way. And if the cat should press, see that nose going, if the cat should press the issue to the point that the whole mess would break and fall 100 feet all the way to the floor of the rainforest, the sloth will almost certainly survive a 100-foot drop, and the cat will almost certainly not. So the sloth will look over the cat and he'll say, ha, ha, and back up the tree he goes. And the cat will not be returning to the canopy of the rainforest. Curtains for the cat. The one animal that can get to the sloth in the top of the tree is the harpy eagle. That is seeking its food by vision and by being fast and strong. They don't need the branch to support their weight. They don't need to smell. They can get to them. So even though the sloth is safe in the top of the tree, yet he comes all the way down the tree, same side of the tree every single time when he goes to the bathroom. And that is, again, once in a week or 10 days. Solid and liquid, same time, separately, but both at the same time. When the sloth is going to eliminate, it is literally 1/3 of their total body mass when he goes to the bathroom. Now, the sloth comes all the way down the tree. His bathroom spot is right there. The only spot there's any shavings on the floor in there. Sloths always go to the bathroom in the exact same place that they always go. And scientists often come up with some stupid ideas on the way to some correct or not ideas on why things do what they do. He hears me, he comes to me.
He's like, you normally have the food.
Yeah, he can't have my coffee. So the sloth comes all the way down the tree, same side of the tree. The original idea on why the sloth is doing that is he's just a neat animal. Obviously that makes no sense. He's not going to risk his life because he's just a neat animal. So then the next idea was that the sloth is fertilizing his own tree via his waste. Again, stupid notion. If he went to the bathroom from anywhere in the canopy of the tree, it's going to fall above the root system of the tree, so no net effect. So the actual reason why the sloth comes all the way down the tree, same side of the tree, to go to the bathroom in the exact same place that he always goes, is the sloth-moth symbiotic relationship. So in the wild, not here, praise the Lord, in the wild, sloths need moths and moths need sloths. Might want a little bit of this other right here, you can try that. Just hold the dish up to him. The nature of that symbiosis is that the moths benefit because the sloth is the food source and the living environment of the moths. The moths are feeding on the moss and algae that's all in the sloth's fur. The only reason that the sloth moth, which there are 3 types of moths called sloth moths, they live nowhere in the world except in the fur and in the waste pile of a sloth. The sloth moth will live its entire life in the sloth's fur or in the sloth's waste pile. The only reasons it leaves the sloth is to drink water that pools up in the tops of leaves in the canopy of the rainforest, and to get into the waste pile to lay their eggs. When the sloth comes down the tree, he gets his hiney right to the ground. You can back up in our TikTok videos and find sloth potty dance. It shows you how a sloth goes to the bathroom. And he gets his hiney right to the ground and lets it rip with a massive pile all at once. While the sloth is down, the moths all fly off of the sloth, and there can be 100 to 150 moths living in his fur all the time in the rainforest. The moths all fly down into the waste pile, lay their eggs, and back to the sloth as fast as they can, because they only fly about 12 to 18 inches at a time. If they miss the ride, 100 feet back up to the canopy, curtains for the moth. So the benefit to the moth is the sloth is the food source and living environment of the moth. The benefit to the sloth is at least 3 different things. First, as the moths are eating the moss and algae that is all in the sloth's fur, they are fertilizing the same via their waste. More moss, more algae, more disguise from harpy eagles, which is the one thing that can get to them in the top of the tree. Second, as the sloth grooms himself, he licks up a certain amount of the moths themselves. That is the sloth's primary protein source in the wild. They also are opportunistic. If they should find a nest with bird eggs in it, they will eat those. But their main protein source is the moths themselves. Third, and most importantly for the sloth, as the sloth grooms herself, she licks up a certain amount of the waste of the moths. And the waste of the moths is the key to the game for the sloth. You're welcome to pet this guy. He's more wiry than the next one that you're going to hold. The waste of the moths is the key to the game for the sloth. So the waste of the moths is where the sloth gets his gut bacteria from that cause him to digest his food. It is a proven fact in the wild. There's one of the babies. She's like, come on, y'all, it's my turn.
Oh, no.
So the babies that we hold are ambassador sloths. And I'll tell you more about that later, but step 1 to being an ambassador sloth is they have to actively seek human attention and genuinely enjoy human contact. And you'll see if we don't give her some attention soon, she'll be planked out from that basket going, which means hold me, hold me, hold me.
Sorry.
He may be back to the mangoes, I don't know. He eats what he wants. And he doesn't have to perform to get his food. Whatever he doesn't eat during this encounter is going to go in his dish. He knows he's getting it anyway. So
Oh wow, I'm done with you.
it's fun to eat and feed him, and he likes to eat from people. But if he doesn't eat it right now, he's getting the food later, and he knows that. So it is a proven fact that in the wild, if a sloth's moth colony fails to thrive, that it's curtains for the sloth. And if the sloth passes, it's curtains for the moth colony. So in the wild, not here, praise the Lord, sloths need moths and moths need sloths. Now fortunately, we don't need them here. The reasons we don't need them here: 1, nothing is seeking his life, so he doesn't need disguise. 2, he doesn't need the protein, we give him eggs. 3, he doesn't need the replacement gut bacteria. Now we also have helpful gut bacteria, last throughout our lives, unless we take a lot of antibiotics. Take a lot of antibiotics, we need some probiotics or Greek yogurt to fix our gut health back up, right? Well, in the rainforest, he doesn't know where Publix is, he's never heard of GNC. There is no probiotic or Greek yogurt coming his way. But what interrupts his gut health is cold temperature. If the sloth gets too cold, it will wipe out his gut bacteria, and he then has to replenish the gut bacteria via the waste of the moths as he grooms himself. Now here, we never ever let a sloth get cold. That's why it's 80 degrees in this room, 365 days of the year. We never let a sloth get cold, and his gut bacteria will last throughout his life, just like our gut bacteria will last throughout our life, unless we take a lot of antibiotics. So, other things about a sloth. Now I mentioned that 2-fingered and 3-fingered sloths are very different animals. Makes more sense from a photo than for me just telling you about it. So if I go to the Google of sloth skeleton here. This is the skeleton of a 2-fingered sloth. That's what you're looking at right here. And this is the skeleton of a 3-fingered sloth. That's the other main kind of sloth. Differences between them. 3-fingered sloth has 9 vertebrae in the cervical spine, from skull to shoulders, and 3 vertebrae of a tail. The two-fingered sloth has only 5. Just lost the picture. Two-fingered sloth has only 5 in the cervical spine between skull and shoulders, and he has no tail. So look how many extra he's got between hips and shoulders. He also has 46 ribs, 23 sets of ribs. This guy's built a little more like a truck. The other guy is built a little bit more like a sports car. But it's a sports car that's going to be pushed across the Barrett-Jackson stage because it's never going anywhere quick at all. So that you can see that the three-fingered sloth is a far more slightly built animal. He's got arms longer than body, legs shorter. The two-fingered sloth has arms longer than body, legs longer than arms. Like that. The two-fingered sloth, just like you're seeing here, has massive teeth. His teeth don't look as big because you're seeing no gums and no lips and stuff right here. But he's got giant, huge teeth like that, and the claws look just like what you're seeing right there, huge, giant claws. So if you were a scientist who came up with a skeleton of one of these sloths, you would be coming up with a pretty silly idea of what this animal might do. You would almost certainly come up with an idea of something like a howler monkey just flying around the trees and laying waste to everything. Not a slow, peaceful animal that's going to hide for all his life until eventually something catches him.
We just saw a howler monkey in October
Oh yeah?
Oh.
Where about?
in Aruba.
Oh, okay.
You can hear him all over the place.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Did you sing the song while you were in Aruba?
What song?
Aruba.
Oh.
I'm sure somebody did.
No, that's.
Yeah.
Oh.
My last intern is in vet school in St. Kitts right now.
Okay.
And when she was moving down there, I told her father, "You didn't lose a daughter, you gained a vacation spot."
That's right. That's right.
That's our
Because
sister.
My
lives
sister
down
just moved down there. That's what I said.
Oh, that's cool.
there. That's why we went.
Your sister got a guest room?
Yes.
She actually has a guest house.
Oh, awesome. There you go. St. Kitts, Aruba, here we come.
Yeah.
I looked at moving to Aruba one time, but man, the foreign investment tax back then was like 50%. And I wasn't loaded with money, so I didn't go. But anyway, the two-fingered, three-fingered sloth. The three-fingered sloth with that big long neck, and this is shoulders and this is skull. He turns his head 270 around like an owl, like this.
Wow.
The two-fingered sloth with all the extra vertebrae between hips and shoulders, he can turn until his hips and shoulders are 180 out from each other, essentially like this. The two-fingered sloth is a heavier animal and a bigger animal than a three-fingered sloth. They're also a little bit quicker, but to describe a two-fingered sloth as quicker than any other mammal, you can only be talking about a three-fingered sloth, because it is a relative thing. We're not saying this guy is quick by any stretch of the imagination. But in a minute here, you'll get to see how he goes back up to his room, and he'll move a little quicker than you might think he does. But after he gets done with his breakfast, it's nap time. The normal life cycle for a sloth is they take a series of 2 or 3 hour naps during the day, and at night they sleep like twice, 4 or 5 hours. So our sloths here only do 2 hours of encounters a day, and they have a 4-hour gap between their morning session and their afternoon session. So they have a full nap, wake, eat, relax cycle between their morning and afternoon session. And they only see 2 people at a time. So the reason I have a sloth encounter is I went to the one in Honduras off of a cruise ship, and I thought it was great and wonderful and lovely and a lifetime experience. And I was horrified a year later when I found out that those sloths on average live for 1 month. And so we wanted there to be an ethical and appropriate place to handle sloths. Ours that are here are a minimum of 6 generations removed from the rainforest. So that's great, 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 great grandparent, parent, then them before they even might be here. And the guy who breeds these is a veterinarian who's been doing it for 36, 37 years now. And his generation 0 of animals are animals that were too injured to be returned to the rainforest, mainly missing limbs. And so no animal anywhere in my program or his has ever been taken from the rainforest. And the differences between them, you know, house cat, feral cat, exact same animal. One is generationally a pet and one is not. Even though they are the exact same animal, try to hold the feral cat in your lap and see how that works out. or throw your house cat out into the woods and see how that works out for him.
Yeah.
So they're the exact same animal with generations dividing them from, you know, wild versus pet.
How long do they live?
In the wild, they think they live around 20 years, but that's a hypothetical number because, you know, nobody's ever observed one from birth to geriatrics in the wild, strictly wild. I can tell you that the guy that breeds these has 2 females that are over 35 and still reproductive. And it's too soon to say that it's definitely true, but if it's true of sloths like it is of most other large mammals, that females don't reproduce in the last half to third of their life, that would indicate they could still live quite a while yet.
Wow.
And there was one at the Smithsonian Zoo that lived 49. There are a couple in Germany that live 53, 54.
Wow.
There's one in China that's reputed to be much, much older than that, but you know, it's China, so who knows. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But they do live a long time if they're properly cared for. And whenever I'm on a live like I am right now, I'm always careful to say, please don't buy a sloth for a pet. If you see a sloth that is for sale on the internet, that is an animal that has been taken out of the rainforest and someone is selling it. And that is a reprehensible thing to do. And it will not go well for you or for the sloth. They give you 1 week health guarantee because they know it'll take them a month to starve.
Is this Dash?
Yeah, part 2.
Really?
All right, let's let Flash go back up and take his nap. You can see the way that he goes.
Maybe.
Very slowly.
Yeah, that's alright. I'm kind of with you on that.
Very deliberate movement. His room goes way, way up there. That big window that you see, if you look in up at the top, that is the sloth suite, where you can stay upstairs and have a sloth bird roommate. Welcome, walk in there and see the way he moves.
I gotta move around you. This is all about y'all.
Okay.
Good morning, Dash.
Like nobody's paying attention to me.
You see the big window up there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
They live outside, so.
Yeah. Any day it's above 70, they go outside and hang out in sunlight. And the other ones go out for walks. This one has never been known, so he can go out for the walks like the other ones.
Going straight to the top.
All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with our sloth keeper, Michaela, for part 2.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
Where were you guys from?
Sorry. Where are you at, Kentucky?
Yeah. How long of a drive is that for you?
About 340.
Yeah.
Are you guys staying on the farm or down for the day?
Just down for the day and going back.
Excellent.
All right. So whoever wants to hold first can have a seat. And Dash is gonna wrap around you just like this. He'll put his back legs around your waist, and his front legs will just put kind of underneath your armpits. And then when you pet, you just want to pet real nice and slow down the middle of his back. They don't really like their hair to be moved up the opposite way. And they're not really like cats. You know, the cats kind of like the scritches on their butt and everything. They don't really like to feel any of that. It's kind of alarming for them. And their legs are super sensitive. That's their security blanket. That's how they feel most safe, is when they're wrapped around you. So don't want to pull them away and take a look at them or anything like that. So he'll open up his legs here, around your waist. And he'll put his front arms just kind of up underneath your armpits. Get him out just a little bit of food here. Was Flash hungry this morning or being kind of picky?
He's kind of picky.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
They go through little phases like that sometimes. They'll get picky, and he's got us more trained than we've got him trained.
That's what he said. He said he'd get to eat after a while, no matter what.
Yeah, that's always the case, is that if he doesn't want, whatever he doesn't want of his breakfast will always go in his food dish, and he gets to eat it whenever he wants to. And if for whatever reason, if Flash decides that he doesn't want to come down here and hang out on the branch with us in the morning, he still knows that he gets his food in his food dish and he comes down to eat it later on in the day whenever he wants it. Is that so good?
Is that nice? I wanna know what it is.
It's actually a mixture of brown rice and a really high quality dog food that we soak in water.
I thought it looked
Yeah.
like rice, but I
Mhm.
wasn't sure.
Yep, rice, and usually there's some shaved up sweet potato or carrots
That's
or
what it's called.
some kind of zucchini or squash or something like that.
Trying to get out.
Yeah. She's been explorative this morning.
She's been trying to get out since we've been in here.
Yeah. They've all got their own unique personalities. Dash has always had a pretty stark personality and characteristics about him. One, he's a lot darker. You see how dark he is compared to Flash and Zoe. He's lightened up quite a bit from what he was when he first came to us. When he was a baby, about 5 months old, the color of his nose is basically how he was all over. He was one solid, real dark color like that. And then he's lightened up quite a bit, and he'll lighten up even more as he gets a little bit older, but the middle part of his back will be real light, and then his head and the legs will stay darker. Was Flash pretty much just eating the mango?
Yeah, he didn't want any of the rice. None of it.
Did he eat any of the, avocado?
Didn't try.
I don't know which one. I'm just working with the mango.
Avocado's a new thing on the menu that we've tried today. He had one bite of it this morning and got it stuck to the roof of his mouth and kind of did that whole thing like dogs do when they eat peanut butter. Just lick and lick and lick.
Yeah.
Dash likes it.
He likes the rice. You guys have any other plans for the day?
No. Just driving by.
Yeah. So how'd you hear about it? It's just social media?
Showed up on my Facebook page one day.
Yeah.
This is something she's always wanted to do.
Yeah, well, cool.
This was her birthday present.
Oh, yeah. When was your birthday?
16th.
Oh, happy late birthday. You actually share it the 16th of December. You share the same birthday as Zoe.
Oh, really?
Zoe turned 2 years old in December 16th. And I feel terrible because I missed it the day of. She has the same birthday as Zoe.
Oh, really?
Yep. And we missed it. Her birthday came and went.
December 16th? Yeah.
So this rice we have to make about every other day to keep it fresh for them because they get pretty picky after a little bit. And we always want to make it fresh because it starts to get kind of harder for them. Babies, it's a little bit harder for them to crunch down on it. And then another pretty gross part of being a sloth keeper is that the dog food that we soak to mix into it has to be mushed up and put into
Yeah.
it. So yeah, if you've got a squeamish stomach about textures, you would watch this part. But Dash just turned a year old in August, so he's about 16 months old. So he's still got a good amount of growing left to do. He's about 7.5 pounds. Kind of depends on what time of the week you weigh him. We always weigh him for definite right after they go to the bathroom, because every time they go to the bathroom, they expel 1/3 of their entire body weight. So it's a good amount that they're letting go, and some people kind of think I have an easy job because I'm working with sloths, and how busy could a sloth day be? When in reality, I already feel like I kind of need 4 of me to just take care of the 4 sloths that we've got. And when they go to the bathroom, it's not only a big pile, but it's a big puddle that I've got to clean up too, because they only pee but once a week.
That's crazy.
And the reason for that is because it takes about 30 days to digest one meal through their entire system. So they only get the urge to go once a week. And it's kind of a good thing because every time they do, was he talking about how they go all the way down to the floor to use the bathroom and why that is? That's probably my favorite thing about sloths because of how intricate and just well designed it is. And if it's messed up even just a little bit by somebody going out there and touching the sloth or moving the sloth to a separate tree or something, it really messes them up. It really just goes to show you how the intricacies of God's design is. I mean, it's so perfect and so well thought out that it's really cool to think about. For me, at least, it's a lot easier to point towards the fact that there's intelligent design rather than evolutionary happenstance, but everybody has their own thoughts on it. Oh, your phone.
Our phone is hot.
Yeah.
Usually the one you thought.
I got mine in my pocket. It's hot. What, eat the elbow?
Depending on how hungry he is, you definitely could. Sloths eat about 10% of their body weight every day, so if you think about that, eating 10% for 7 to 10 days in a row, and then going to the bathroom, you feel a big relief right afterwards. And you can tell a difference even in their personality. Right before they go to the bathroom, they're super uncomfortable, they're bloated, it's like they're hungry, they want to eat, but they don't want to eat. I kind of equate it to like PMSing. And right afterwards, you feel so much better and you're so relieved.
I ain't being nosy. What kind of shoes are you wearing?
Dry shod, yeah, dry shod. I got these shoes because I used to work with somebody that loved to untie my shoes every day, and that's one of my biggest pet peeves, is if my shoelaces are not the right tightness. I'm like, I don't really consider myself to be an OCD person, but that I am OCD about.
Are they
I have to have them be the same.
waterproof?
Yes, yeah.
The reason I'm at, my daughter works for the Kentucky Horse Park. And
Oh,
she
yeah.
works with the draft horses. And
Yeah.
she's always complaining about her feet getting wet.
Yeah, they're not steel-toed or anything, but they're really comfortable and they're nice for, they make Dry Shod makes boots that are really nice quality, and they make the ones that just go up quarter length. But I got these because I was tired of having my shoelaces untied. And then after I got these, he came over and he's like, man, those are really nice. What brand are those? What kind are those? And then took my entire shoe and ran off with it. I'm like, there's no escaping it. Chloe is fit to be tied this morning.
Yeah, she's not like that. She just wants something.
Yeah, she says, somebody hold me. And that's what we mean by, with the ambassadors, how they have to meet those two requirements where they genuinely enjoy and actively seek out human interaction. That's what we mean by actively seeking out. When she sees somebody, hears somebody, she would rather be with them than be, sleeping if she's awake. Most of the time with her being so young, she's still pretty content by just sitting in that basket and taking a nap, but if she sees or hears somebody, she is ready to go. What do you see? Dash has always been our most inquisitive sloth, and if there's anything ever new around, he wants to see it. He wants to lick it, he wants to chew on it. They kind of go through a Malby phase when they're young, kind of like puppies do, and anything he sees he wants to chew on and nibble and explore, because their eyesight's so poor, so they really do explore a lot with their mouths.
Are you ready for a nap now?
Not really.
Full belly and ready for naps.
I wonder what he would think about some mango. Wanna try some mango? What do you think of that? They're good. I've got some avocado. Since that smells different. No, it's not. They're all funny. They all have their own personalities and their own favorite foods. They all pick their own favorite foods and everything, just like people do. The things they like, the things they don't like. Little tendencies and habits, they all kind of develop their own. even though our 3 ambassadors all came from the same guy, the same breeding program, he raised them all in the same way. They're all very different. And Dash likes to sit down low in your lap so that he can look around and still explore and grab onto things. And Zoe is the exact opposite. Zoe likes to be up high, up around your shoulders, and not focused on anything else that's going on around her. Dash always likes to look around and see what's going on. What do you think?
Still trying to chew that mango right
I didn't realize they had teeth like that.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Their teeth are very impressive. They have 4 really sharp canines in the front.
That's what he was showing us
That-
the picture.
Yeah, yeah. Their canines are very, not what you would imagine a sloth to be
now.
like. Looks a little bit more like a saber-toothed tiger than anything else. What are you doing? You sniff that? That's the same chair that's always been there. Tongue sticking out. What do you think? Hear Chloe up there.
How old is Dash?
Dash is 16 months old. August 5th was his birthday. And then Chloe is closer to 8 months old now. Been saying 7 months for about a month, so.
He's still trying to chew that up. They're trying to screw that out. Yeah, I
We
can.
can swap out whenever you guys want to, and if you wanna hold the whole time, that's fine as
It's
well.
all for you.
I know, that's talking about your ear. Your ear.
So he said that it's all day.
Yeah, we take naps together.
Yeah.
We would take naps together.
That's what he did when he was a baby, about Chloe's age, and Chloe's kind of taking his spot now, or when they first come to us when they're real little, still learning how to climb and everything. They'll stay at the main house with the owners overnight, then they come down here in the day to be around all this environment and everything. But overnight, they'll get their nightly feedings, and then Donna is a softie, and anytime she ever hears them start stirring and start to make their little noises, because they'll make little calling sounds, they sound like, I'll do that, and if
Yeah.
she hears that in the middle of the night, she gets up and goes over there and gets
I
them,
would too.
and then sleeps with them the rest of the night. And she's a pretty light sleeper, so she always is kind of aware of where they're at. I could not sleep with a sloth, because I'd roll right over on top of them. But she's done that for all 3 ambassadors, and she got so attached. Zoe was her first ambassador. Zoe got so attached to Donna that when she came down here on her first year birthday, she was so attached to Donna that Donna couldn't really come down here and do encounters with her, because if she heard Donna in the same room talking, she could care less about who she's holding on to. She's just trying to get to her the whole time. So, and she still does that when Donna comes down. She hears her, she'll start to look around and climb around a lot more. They kind of lose that call as they get older. You can still see Zoe sometimes will open her mouth up, like she's trying to make that noise, but she doesn't ever really have anything come out anymore.
Something about them like a leg, something.
Everyone's waiting for her. Like,
Mhm.
it's gonna-
Yeah, readjusting,
Yeah.
getting a better grip. And the paw pad, the leather on the underside that they have on their paws are actually really sensitive. They have a lot of nerve endings in those, and that's what allows them to know what they grabbed a hold of, even if they can't really see it, since their eyesight's really poor. Did he talk about their eyesight, the rod monochromacy? So they really can't tell what things are. They can see what looks like the next branch, but they can grab a hold of that, and if they don't give their brain time to process that, or their paw pad to really feel that, it could be their own arm that they've grabbed a hold of, and then they'll let go of the back leg and they'll fall. So falling happens pretty often actually for wild sloths. Usually it's about once a week that they'll fall out of the trees. So it's a good thing that they're kind of built like trucks though. Did he show and talk about how they have so many ribs and everything, so they can survive falls from up to 100 feet in the air and be completely unharmed. They just kind of bounce. Their rib cage will just flex down under their weight and then go back up, whereas we would make more of a splat sound.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and jaguars, if a jaguar has been the one to go out there and have them fall off the branch, if a jaguar falls from 100 feet, they're going to be trying to land on all 4 feet, probably break all 4 legs. But with the sloths, how they start to fall and all 4 limbs kind of go out, and they fall real flat, they don't really have any damage or anything. Might be days for a minute or two, but then make their way back up. Think about the sloths, they do kind of have unfortunate, sad lives though, because I have so many things that are trying to eat them in the wild. They fall out of the trees once a week. They only go to the bathroom once a week. Yeah.
Good and bad mix.
Dash is at least 6 generations removed from the rainforest, which means that his mother, his grandmother, his great-grandmother were all born and raised into the ambassador program that he came from, and were conditioned the same way. And the baby sloths always have their own decision they make that choice whether or not they want to become an ambassador and will actively seek out human attention. And if they don't make that transition and actively seek out being around people, they don't go to a facility like this where they're held and interacted with. They'll go somewhere that's more similar to a zoo. So it's always their decision. And even for these guys, they all have their own personalities, and right before they go to the bathroom, they're feeling pretty bloated and just kind of uncomfortable. And so for whatever reason, if I went in to get him out of his enclosure and go to reach down for him, and he's just like, not really feeling it, not really. Because he always reaches up for me every time. And if he ever doesn't reach up for me, it's like, it's totally your decision. You gotta come out here or not. And so every now and then, once in a blue moon, if he's just not feeling it, or whoever's just not wanting to come down, like Flash sometimes, if he doesn't come down and hang out with us in the morning and he has an encounter scheduled, we just switch over and use a different sloth, because we don't ever force him to do anything they don't want to.
You have 3 or 4?
Four total. So Flash is the oldest, and then Zoe is 2 years old, and then Dash, and then Chloe. All the rhyming names, we get Zoe and Chloe mixed up a lot. And you can see right there on her claws where she's reaching over the side, that one that's moving is actually her back foot, because you can see it has 3 claws on there, but she is a 2-toed sloth. It really just makes more sense to call them 2-fingered, because on the front, the one that she hasn't moved yet, that's her front, and it just has the 2, but that one that's still hanging on is a back leg. It's got the 3.
Try to eat a blanket.
They explore with their mouths, figure out what everything is.
You go to sleep, sitting there doing that.
A lot of people have requested that we offer sloth naps, and we just get a lazy boy in here and just give him an hour.
Yeah, I would do it. I think we
He would love it. He's more content in somebody's life than anywhere else in the world. And they're very routine animals too. They like to stick to their schedules, and they get to know their schedules. People think that sloths would be kind of slow animals because they're slow moving, but they're actually pretty intelligent, and there's little cues that they'll pick up on, where right at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, when it's his encounter time, there's usually a farm tour going through about that same time. And so when he hears people talking out there and making motions and everything, he starts to wake up, and he's like, all right, where's she at? Somebody's supposed to be coming in here in just a second. So even if nobody has scheduled for his afternoon encounters or morning encounters, I still sit and hold him for at least 30 minutes just to keep him on his schedule. Because you can tell a difference in his personality and his behavior afterwards, if he's not had his schedule stuck to and he's had a slow day and nobody's come in to interact with him, he doesn't really eat as much in the afternoons. Go on a little hunger strike. Pretty cute. Maybe.
I'm my best to get out.
And she's still spoiled. She has an enclosure that's in the owner's bedroom where we put her entire basket into it. And she's got branches that are just right up above her that she can grab a hold of and climb around all this big space if she wanted to. But I've only ever seen her climb once, and that was because she was waiting for her dinner. I was like 20 minutes late to give her dinner, and she said, it's time now.
Oh, it doesn't have fries.
Here, I can get that rice from you.
You got close.
Hmm.
You got close to him.
Yep. And they have an internal clock system too. He knows right when it's been about 30 minutes, or right about 15 too. He'll start to kind of stir and look around a little bit more because he knows if there's two people in here, usually about 15 minutes they swap over, and then the next little bit, and then the next time he sees me move around, I'm coming to get him. And it's not because he doesn't like sitting in your lap, it's just because it's the routine that they thrive off of. He knows that it's time, and he knows that, and it's nothing that, like, it's not something that we've trained them to do, it's just they've conditioned themselves to do that, because it's the same thing that I do with him every time when I go to, and I usually say the same thing too, like right when it's about time, I usually always say something along the lines of, I know our time goes by so quickly, but we've just finished up here, and usually every time he hears me say that, even if I haven't moved yet, he'll look back at me.
Yeah.
So they are pretty smart, they understand things.